What is going on, everybody? Today we're looking at the Hasbro Power Rangers Lightning Collection Wave 14 figures, which all look really cool. I'm excited for this wave. So first up, we have Lost Galaxy Pink Ranger. So that's finishing up our Lost Galaxy, so cool to finish up another team. And then from Power Rangers Dino Thunder, we have the Black Ranger, so another Tommy figure, so cool to have him. And that finishes up our Dino Thunder, as well as we also get their villain of Mesogog, so cool to have him as well. So those two go perfectly together. And then continuing on with our Dino Fury team, we have the blue Dino Fury Ranger. So cool to have him now to add with our other two. So cool wave overall. I'm excited about this wave. A lot of cool figures. So I'll have to check them out to see if we have any issues with them or if anything that's been going on recently with the Power Rangers. But I'm just excited about these. So let me get them open and we'll take a look at them together. And we're going to start off with the Lost Galaxy Pink Ranger, who is Kendrix Morgan, and she is a science officer on Terra Venture Space Station that pulled a Quasar Saber out of the rock on Miranoi to become the Pink Galaxy Ranger. And we see throughout the series she ends up sacrificing herself and passed her powers on to Karum, but ended up being resurrected when the Quasar Sabers were put back into the stone. And if I remember right, it's because the actress Valerie Vernon ended up having like a cancer of some sort, so she ended up leaving the show, but ended up coming back later. And so overall, pretty cool to have her in this figure. And of course finishing off our Lost Galaxy team. Now look wise, especially for the head here, I don't think it looks that good. It's of course not really that good, and Lightning Collection don't really tend to have that good of looking faces, but just every time I see this I would automatically of course think of like Bernadette from the Big Bang Theory. But just overall not very good, especially because of the glasses and stuff, which came in separately, so they're like an accessory that you can easily pull off the face there. So there's her face, but I think with it supposed to be Kendrix and stuff, I think it looks much better having the glasses just because it's more identifiable as her. But I still don't think it looks very good. Just like the nose just looks way too big and everything, and I think the glasses could look better overall. But it has her hair with hair pulled back into the ponytail, and then like the bangs and the longer hair there in the front helps hold her glasses on stuff and doesn't fall off as easily, so don't like that as much. But everything else looks pretty decent with the Pink Ranger outfit, so looks pretty good with like the hot pink color and stuff for the rest of it, though of course the white in the center, gloves, and on the boots with the zigzags, so have the zigzags on each of those. And again, much like the Yellow Ranger, they kind of like get cut off, it seems like, a little bit, because they should have points there at the end hitting the pink and stuff, but just looks fine the way it is. Looks pretty similar to the Yellow Ranger overall, so probably just the same figure, and overall works out pretty well. This wave overall, we didn't really have many issues at all, which is good. There I did have one minor issue I'll show it to you, but overall the figures didn't really have too many issues. They're still not perfect, but they're better than they were, so I'm happy about that with the wave overall. But for her, we'll do the movements, so the head can twist all the way around, it can look down the far and up a little, so just a little bit of rocking back and forth because she doesn't have a hinge. But then we get the shoulders that can come up to 90 with the butterfly joint that goes really far back there, but can butterfly back and forth and twist all the way around. We get a bicep twist and the double elbow joint that can bend up that far. At least I'm sure you can bend up farther if you get the elbows placed in properly, but can bend up that far, which is good. And the wrist can twist around and flex back and forth. And for this figure, not sure if the others, and I just ignored it, but it does twist around at the glove as well. But then we go to the ab crunches, so she has the ab crunch just under her chest, so can crunch back and forth a little and twist all the way around, and then has the lower crunch there at the waist, so crunch forward and back there as well. So pretty decent with those crunchings. The hips can come up a little, so the skirting's in the way, so you can only go up about a little over 45 and out to the side. She's not far from doing the splits, and it does feel like the hips are kind of dropped down, so you gotta push them back up in there. With the thigh twist all the way around, the double knee joint that can bend up that far to the back, shin twist at the top of the boot, and the foot can flex back and forth, a little bit stiff, can flex back and forth and twist side to side. So pretty decent movements, and like I said, no real major issues or anything with her, so it works out pretty good overall. But for accessories, of course, the most important thing to me is the helmeted head, so I always want to have that. So the helmeted head with the Wildcat design, so it looks pretty cool with the Wildcat Galactabeast design. So it's supposed to be the ears on the side, of course the two eyes up there, and the mouth, so got the nose and like the little piece there of the cat mouth or whatever, so looks pretty decent overall. So let's switch the head out. So there she is with the helmet, and yeah, pretty similar to the Yellow Ranger. The neck does seem a little bit too high. It doesn't seem as weird as the Yellow Ranger had, but it still seems like there's too much neck in there for the figure. So I had issues with the Yellow Ranger one, and now the pink, again, still has issues, but it just doesn't seem to be as bad, but it is still there. But overall cool to have her helmeted now, because obviously that's how I want them, and just looks cool there. And then we also get some additional hands, so we get some hands here, so we have like a grip hands with like claw type fingers or whatever and stuff there, but we can use that to hold some weapons. And speaking of weapons, first we get the Quasar Sabers, so we have the collapsed down version with the Wildcat little logo design in there, so that's cool. So we can put this into the holster, and again, I love these because because as you get them slid in, they sort of click into place. So there's the Quasar Saber and the holder there. I had some issues getting it through, but I finally got it in there, and so like I said, it sort of clicks into place there and holds, so don't have to worry about that ever falling out. But then we also get the extended out version of the Quasar Saber, so there we have it now just in the sword mode. We can put this in her hands, so let's switch our hands out for the grips. So there's the Quasar Saber in her hands, and it does also come with this Hasbro effect of this like blue lightning that we can slide down onto it. I never know exactly how you're supposed to slide these on to make it look pretty decent, but you can obviously just slide it onto the sword there. I never like them, but cool that it's come with it, and I like that blue color and everything. But what's really cool is that she comes with her version of the trans dagger that's folded out into the beta bow, so really cool to have that. It's a little bit bent up and stuff, and of course our Quasar Saber is as well, so I have to heat those up, but very cool she has that, since the Yellow Ranger didn't come with one, but it's awesome that the pink did, so we can put this into her hand. It's a bow, so like a lot of the pink Rangers have. Well, let's put this in her hand, and with that we can try to pose her up like she's got the bow in her hand there, just like that. Of course it doesn't really look too good or anything, but we can get her posed up just kind of like that. But very cool to have the pink Lost Galaxy Ranger now, because we can add her in with the team and finish off Lost Galaxy. So there's our entire Lost Galaxy team now with our 5 members and Magnet Defender, so really cool to now finish off another team of Lost Galaxy. And then we've got the Dino Thunder Black Ranger, which of course is Tommy Oliver, and he's a science teacher at a school in Reefside, California that recruited 3 detention students into the Dino Rangers, and he ended up stealing the Black Dino Gem to become the Black Dino Thunder Ranger. And with these powers, he has the ability to turn invisible, and overall really cool to have him. Awesome to have another version of Tommy now to end off all our main like show versions of Tommy, which of course I've just realized I forgot to grab all the other Tommies to have them together, but really cool to have him here as the Black Ranger from Dino Thunder, and overall looks pretty cool. So of course we have the face there of Jason David Franken. At this point he had cut his hair off, so he's got the shorter hair now, which looks pretty decent, and has the little like goatee and stuff there, so overall looks pretty decent. You know, it doesn't really look spot on to him, and I think it's probably one of the worst versions and looks of Tommy, and you know, still gives you that look to him and stuff, but doesn't look exactly like him. So overall pretty decent for him. But then has the black outfit of the Dino Thunder, so same as like all the other characters, so black spandex with the Dino Thunder logo on his chest, as well as like the diamond designs going down the arm. So I love with the gold designs and the little gold armor up there on his shoulders, gold belt around the waist with the holster, gold bands around the wrist, and he has the brachiomorpher here on this side, and again those diamonds continuing down the leg to the gold band at the top of the boots and the all black boots there. So overall once again looks really cool, and like I said, the coolest thing is finally getting the final version of Tommy and our last member of Dino Thunder. But let's do his movement. So his head can twist all the way around, he can look down that far and up that far, so pretty decent movements at least. Shoulders can come up, it's hard to get in here because come up to 90 with the butterfly joint, and can rotate around, and these shoulder pads are just sort of connected up in there so they get out of the way and everything that you need. But we get a bicep twist and the double elbows that can bend up that far at least, and the wrist can twist around and flex back and forth. Then we go to the ab crunch in the middle, so crunch back and forth and twist around, and then has the lower ab crunch there, so crunch back and forth. Then we get the hips that come up to 90 and out to the side, thigh twist all the way around, double knee joint that bends up that far to the back, shin twist at the top of the boot, and the foot can flex back and forth and twist side to side. So relatively good movements overall. Now this was the one figure I did have an issue with. This hand was completely stuck in there, so I kept trying to heat it up and get it out, and I eventually just had to grab onto it with like some pliers or whatever and pull it out, and I pretty much broke the hand. Like I almost pretty much separated the peg out of here, but it was just like stuck down inside there like with paint or whatever. There's kind of like some material in there that was kind of stuck in there, but like I said, this is kind of pretty much broken now, but it just got a grip hand, which doesn't really matter. It comes with some extra hands and stuff that, like I said, don't really matter too much for this specifically, but I thought I was just going to completely break the hand, but I was eventually able to get it out without too much damage overall. But for his accessory, of course, we got to have the masked head, so there's his helmeted head, which looks cool. I love around the visor with like the teeth design, even though he's a brachiosaurus, so brachiosaurus don't have teeth, but still like that design with the little pink or purplish color eyes there, a little bit of design there up on like the head design of the brachiosaurus, so pretty cool of that. So let's switch the head out. So there he is helmeted, and that looks much better, and definitely an awesome design there. And we get some additional hands, so we get a hand here, we get like a claw open hand or whatever, and a fist hand as well, so have either of those, we can switch out with those hands. And for his weapon, we get the brachio staff, so his little like weapon sword thing here, which looks cool with the brachiosaurus sort of design there, and the black and gold as well with the blade on the end of it, so that looks really cool. So let's put this in his hand. So there's the brachio staff in his hands, and with that we do get this Hasbro effect, so just this orange lightning color that has the hole hole in it that we can slide on the end. So it just sticks on the end of the staff like that, which I always hate those sort of things. I think they're kind of pointless. But anyways, there's the Black Ranger now all complete. I think he looks awesome. So now that we have him, we can add him with the Dino Thunder team to complete it. Well, there's a completed team of Dino Thunder now. So cool to now add the Black Ranger in and complete off once again another team of Rangers. And also to go with Dino Thunder is their villain of Mesogog. And he was a scientist, Anton Mercer, that performed an experiment with dinosaur DNA that transformed him into Mesogog, which is a humanoid dinosaur that wants to revert the Earth to the age of dinosaurs and turn humans into reptilian creatures similar to himself. And so he kind of has like a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde personality relationship between Mercer and Mesogog. And he has cybernetic technology and psionic powers that allow him for monster creation, use of a portal, teleportation, fire psionic beams from his forehead, and lasers from his eyes, as well as razor sharp claws. And overall, he looks cool here. Probably my least impressed of this set, just because I feel he's not too much of the same color, like too much of this like olive green color, because it's for his skin as well as his outfit. And then I do have some issues like getting him to stand up, just something weird with his feet that I'll probably have to work out with. But overall, I think he looks cool as the design of Mesogog with like that dinosaur inspired head and stuff there. So he's got those small like sunken in eyes with the red like eyebrows or whatever there, with the head coming back with the spikes on the back and stuff, which is crazy, and the mouth there with all the teeth, and the mouth can open up and show the tongue and stuff in there, so I like the movement in there. And then going into his reptilian skin, so you can see it going down his neck, and then into his chest section. I assume this black piece as well is made up of his body, because it's, you know, skin with this in between, so probably made up there. Going out to his shoulders, where I like the like little spiky pieces there on the end of it, going down into the arms where he's got the black gauntlet pieces, going into the clawed hands there, so he's got 3 fingers with the red claws on the end of them. And then he's got like this robe outfit over the top. It's got like a hood design or whatever, and then back. But I love like the olive green with the darker green colors in the midsection and the outline and stuff. Belt around the waist with a little bit of gold details there, and then this black pants going all the way down to the boots there on his feet. So like I said, not a whole lot of inspiring to him. Obviously it's got the cool like dinosaur head and stuff, but it just seems too much of all the same color to me, which is why I don't like it as much. But we can do his movement, so his head can twist around, so it can twist all the way around and then look down, which it's pretty stiff in here for some reason, joints, even though once again I loosened it up, can get it to go all the way down that far if you get it sort of worked out, and then up that far as well. So just got to get it worked out. And then also feels like there's a joint down like in the neck section here, so it allows it to rock back and forth a little bit and sort of twist a little side to side, but it doesn't really do too much overall. But then we go to the shoulders that can come up with the shoulder design. It's hard to really get up any higher than that, and can rotate around as well. And it looks like he also has a butterfly in there, but of course with the design doesn't really do too much, so just a little bit back and forth. But then we get the single elbow joints that bend to 90 with the rotation. Oh, and as you see, he has those like spike points on the end of his elbows as well. And then the wrist can twist around and hands can flex back and forth. We get an ab crunch in the middle, so crunch back and forth and twist around. And then we get the hips that can come up pretty close to 90 and out to the side again with the skirt. It's hard to really get it, so come up there and out to the side. Thigh twist all the way around. The double knee joint that bends up that far to the back, which isn't too bad. A shin twist there at the top of the boot, and the foot can flex, which is real stiff, which is probably the issue why I'm having to get him to stand, but can flex back and forth there and twist side to side. So body wise, he isn't absolutely horrible, just doesn't have the best range of movements and everything, which is kind of expected for, you know, a creature and stuff like this, that they wouldn't have all the range. But he still works out pretty well, you know, not a horrible figure. Like I said, just seems a little bit bland in the design aspect. But for accessories, we get some additional hands, so we have some fist hands with his fingers all curled up and stuff there, so we have those if you don't want to have the open hands. And with those we get some effects. So first we have this effect, which I believe just goes into his hand. I don't know exactly how it goes in. I didn't like look to see if like they had pictures or whatever of how it goes in, but I assume you just kind of get this worked in between his hands and it'll sit in there. Well, I can't figure out how to get it stuck into his hand. I have too many issues with it, but we have that effect. And then we also have this effect, which goes onto his hand. You just take his like fist and sort of slide it on there. So if you have the fist hand, you can have that to be shooting off some of his powers as well. Of course, I don't like any of the effects like these, so I won't be using any, so I don't really need them. I just definitely want like the claw hands here, because I think the claw hands look pretty cool just the way they are. But it's awesome to have Mesogog as well to go in. We don't get too many villains, so it's awesome to have a villain of Dino Thunder. Since we've completed the team, it's like now we can start going into like villains and stuff, so that is really cool. And with that, we can just go ahead and bring in that Tommy, so we can have Tommy now facing off with Mesogog, since they were like co-workers and stuff at one point. So cool to have those two together now, and again, awesome to get a villain for a team. And that brings us to our Dino Fury Blue Ranger, which is Ollie Akana. And while investigating Dino Hinge with his mother, he saw Void Knight breaking into a base and followed him, where he grabbed a Chroma Fury saber off the wall and tried to fight Void Knight and his henchmen. But when he was cornered, the Dino Fury Morpher appeared on his arm and he transformed into the blue Dino Fury Ranger. And so he looks pretty cool, you know, similar design to all the others. So it's with each team, they all look exactly identical, just with their different colors. So he's blue. So he has blue on his right side and going down his legs, and then has the silver section over on the left with the Dino Fury Morpher there on his arm. So we have that there. And then I of course like the black like zigzag going down the chest and stuff, which looks cool, and love the belt around the waist with the holder there for the Chroma Fury saber. I love the gold there around on the wrists and down at the boots as well with all the blue design there, which looks pretty cool. And then of course we have the face there of Ollie, which is Kai Moya, which looks pretty good overall. Like I said, they're never perfect, but I think for what it is, looks pretty decent. You know, looks relatively enough like the actor and stuff, and love the hair design and all that. So not horrible for him overall. But we'll do the movements so the head can twist around and can look down that far and up that far. So pretty good movements there. Shoulders come up to 9, actually a little bit over there for him with the butterfly joints. So really good range of movements in there with that, and can twist around. We get a bicep twist, which feels a little stiff, but bicep twist, and the double elbow joint that can bend up that far. So not too bad, with the wrist that twists around and flex back and forth. And then we go to the ab crunch. So the upper ab crunch, a crunch back and forth and twist all the way around with the lower ab crunch as well. So crunch forward and crunch back there. So pretty good crunchings all together. Hips up to 90 and out to the side. Thigh twist all the way around. Double knee joint that can bend up that far to the back, which isn't too bad. And we get a shin twist at the top of the boot, and the foot can flex back and forth and twist side to side. So out of all the figures of this wave, he seems to have like the best movements. Like I said, some stiffness in the bicep there, but everywhere else has pretty good, like, want to say loose movements, not loose where he just falls over, but loose enough to not have real stiffness, and pretty good range of movements and everything. So everything is really good about this figure. I like, the only thing is, like, for some reason his legs look really short to me. Like he's got real short stubby legs or something. I know they're kind of bowed out, so he's got like bow legged and stuff, but he just seems really short. Like his upper body seems way too big for the legs. I don't know if it's just like an optical illusion because of like the collar and stuff, or what the deal is, but yeah, it just looks a little bit weird. But he's as tall as everyone else, so he's pretty much the same proportions. But for accessory, of course, we get the helmeted head with the Triceratops design, since he controls the Tricera Blade Zord. So pretty cool with that. I love the 3 horns and stuff, and overall love the Knight helmet designs mixed in with the helmets and stuff. So that's pretty cool. So let's switch this head out. So there's the helmet on there, and looks pretty good on that. Then he comes with some additional hands. So we get a blue fist and a silver grip hand if we want those. And then we get the weapon of the Chroma Fury saber. So looks pretty cool overall. Like I said, we have the holster here. We could slide it down in, but let's go and just put it into his hand for now. So there, Ollie has this sword now, which looks really cool. And we also get a Hasbro effect. So there's this yellow lightning effect that we can slide on. And of course, as usual, the sword's all bent up, so we'll have to try and get it straightened out and everything. But there you can at least stick the lightning onto it there. But I always hate that, so we don't really need that. But with Ollie now, we can add him in with the other team members that we have. So there we can add Ollie in with Zato and Izzy now. So we have 3 members of Dino Fury now. So cool to continue building out that team, and awesome to have Ollie now in the group. Well, that's going to be it for Wave 14 of our Power Rangers Lightning Collection, where we got Lost Galaxy Pink, Dino Thunder Black, Mesogog, and Dino Fury Blue. So all of these Rangers are really cool. Pretty happy with the wave overall. No real major issues with the figures. Minor things here and there. Like I said, Power Rangers always has room to improve, but for what they have, no major issues, especially compared to the past few waves. So really happy with this wave overall. We're finishing out some teams, getting our last Tommy Ranger and stuff, and just a lot of good things with this wave overall. So let me know what you thought of them down in the comments, and if you enjoyed this review, let me know with a thumbs up. But I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you all stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.